Welcome to my journey. We're going to take this and train it to compete in this. Yes, you heard right. This fat, unfit, middle-aged man is going to compete in the Cairns Ironman Triathlon 2024. That's a 3.8k swim, 180k bike ride, and a 42k run. Well, hopefully run. Starting 60 weeks out, you can follow me and see if I've got what it takes to make it all the way. Every week we'll have a new episode and you can see the highs and lows, all the tears, all the blood, all the sweat, and there'll be lots of sweat. I hope you join me and enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. We'll see you soon. Oh, and make sure if you see me out on the trail, say hi, give me some encouragement, or something like that. Well, that's first ride down for the week. 65 minutes, 30 Ks. It's okay. I feel like I'm a little bit disappointed with my gains, even though I really shouldn't be. It's only been 5 weeks that I've been seriously training, so I cut myself a little bit of slack, I guess. Anyway, another good week ahead. Okay, this week's update. Business as usual, let's call it. We are on track, another kilo lost. Run is steady. Bike ride is down a little bit, and the swim is down a little bit. Sort of just tracking in the right direction, I guess. Hoping to do a couple of bigger rides in the next week, and gonna do some bigger swims, so hopefully get that swim number down even further, even though it's come down a lot since we first started, but want to try and get that down to 20 in the end. So but yeah, that's it. Nice steady week, all moving in the right direction, which is all we can ask for. Okay, so welcome to week 6. It's been, after doing the videos about the food last week, I went and had not a bad weekend, don't get me wrong, but yesterday was, I don't know, it's just been tough. I'm sure everyone's doing life tough, but I just really struggled the last few days. With everything really. So part of the outcome of that is that I've decided that we're not having weekends off from exercising, because I tend to fall in a heap, eat bad food, forget all the good stuff. So I'm gonna have some time off during the week as well, and do exercise on the weekend. That way I will keep up the good stuff, keep me more on track, and I won't just slump into a bigger hole on the weekends. So anyway, enough about the bad things. I'm gonna start setting little goals for myself during the week as well. So like, I want to get a minute off my run or whatever it might be. This week my goal is to swim 2Ks. So well, not 2Ks in total, because obviously I've done that already, but 2Ks in one go. So, and today my goal is to try and break my hill climb record, which is currently 20 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe, from the base of the, let's
It's not the goat track, it's the Kafunda track through to the top of the stairs here at Castle Hill. So let's see how we go. I won't be doing any recording on the way up this time because it's hard to break that record, but I will give you an update when we get to the top. So I've only done a small swim on Saturday over the weekend, so should be nice and fresh for this. Fingers crossed. Probably die my ass, but we'll see how we go. Oh dear. Well, on our way. Trying to push ourselves here. Pushing it a little bit harder. See how the body goes. Without breaking myself. Little tiny drink there. Now for the hard part. We are at 12 minutes. So I've got 8 minutes to get up these stairs. I'll see you at the top and we'll see how we go. Anyway, 2.5 minutes to get up there. Everything is hurting. To go. That was better than I thought even. I'd have been happy to crack in under 20. So, super happy. My 18-year-old son only does 15 minutes. So, I'm coming for you. So, I just wanted to touch on a few things in today's moment of wisdom. First, I think that for all those people who are wondering, did I go and see a doctor before I started this, or, is this advisable? All of that sort of stuff. Yes, I do see a doctor regularly. I'm remarkably healthy for someone my weight. And when I say that, I don't mean I'm more healthy than most people who aren't my weight. So there's no problems there. No heart issues, no cardiovascular issues, none of that stuff. So I actually much healthier than most people would realise. So that's not an issue. But I would recommend, if you're going to do this, to do that. I still really can't get used to just blabbing to a camera in front of people. But anyway, so yes, you should, if you want to emulate what I'm doing, don't just do it on a whim. You've got to, I think the biggest thing is to be able to listen to your body. You know, you've got to learn how to read yourself, know what's right, what's wrong. You can't just push blindly and think that everything's going to turn out all right. So, second thing for me is that I've done a lot of, you know, I don't really watch regular TV anymore, but I do spend a lot of time on YouTube, and I follow some very smart people. Dr. Peter Attia is one of them. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's led a really interesting life, actually. It's well worth researching, but he has his own podcast. He's a doctor, and he specializes in longevity, which is obviously something we can all get behind. But he's, well, smarter than I'll ever be when it comes to the human body. And he's, even though it's hard to understand a lot of the stuff that he talks about, he one of the reasons I like him is because he's used himself, not as a guinea pig, but as a test subject for a lot of things when it comes to exercise. And so I kind of like that approach. So, because you know, of all the things that I've read, researched, watched, the one thing that is crystal clear to me when it comes to people and how they respond to exercise, food, losing weight, getting fit, all of that stuff, is that we are all fundamentally individual, and you can't just copy what someone else is doing and think that it's going to be a long-term solution for you. I think that you've got to, obviously there are some fundamental things that you can take on board, but for the vast majority, I think there's a lot of stuff you've got to learn about yourself, what works for you, what doesn't, and be, you know, a bit scientific about how the whole thing. I've certainly done that in a lot of other aspects in my life, but I have never been good at thus far doing that in, you know, losing weight, getting fit kind of arena. So I'm applying my business skills and my analytical skills to a personal problem. So I'm not following, I don't have a trainer, I don't have any special program that I'm following. I know what my end result needs to be, and I've given myself 60 weeks to get there. And so I'm a full-blown amateur, but doesn't mean that I don't absorb information from other sources and try to feed it into myself in a way that I think will work for me. So that's a little bit about my methodology, I guess, when it comes to this whole thing. I don't think it's going to be certainly not a traditional approach, maybe, but the one thing I do have is determination. So, and the only rule that I have really is not to overtrain myself. So I think that's probably the biggest thing to worry about. And so whilst I am pushing myself in certain things, I'm not going to allow myself to be overtrained. If I feel like my body's starting to suffer, I'm going to take a day or two off, and I'll be quite sensible about the whole process. Remember, I'm not trying to win the Ironman next year. I am just going to complete it. So maybe I'll come back the next year and win it. Sounds reasonable. 30 Ks. I was going to do a bigger ride this morning, but it's a headwind. I don't think my legs had it in them yet. So just 30 Ks. tough week this week. Feeling like everything's a bit hard at the moment, with the business and life in general, and I don't know, it's just one of those weeks. Had a bad day on Sunday with food. Yeah, it won't last though. This too will pass. So hopefully I'll turn around today. Hump day, maybe. Who knows? If this is the worst, then I'm all good. That's how I like to think about things. Can't have new records every day, I guess. So sometimes it's just a record to do, just to complete. So just a follow up to that little bit. I think these weeks where everything feels hard and you're not making big gains, and they're the weeks where they're the hardest weeks, but they're also the most important weeks to get through, because they're the weeks that can bring you undone. And so I'll just be pushing hard this week to finish and then start anew. So that's all you can do. Well, another morning swim. Seemed a bit like everything else this week. It's all been a bit of a struggle, but got my 1500 meters in. Didn't quite drown, although trying to swim on my left, getting more used to swimming on both sides is really lots of fun. So yeah, another good session down. Keeping on. Okay, so I just had my just had an appointment with James at Hellohealth here in Townsville, and he's a jack of all trades, ex-pharmacist, does compounding pharmacy, nutritionist, general all-round, very knowledgeable about trying to get your body to work as well as it can, and they've got this. So we're going to use James to help make sure that I've got all my bits and pieces in place. So I've booked some bloods to get done, checking a few of the basics, which we'll go through when we get the results back. We had a chat about my diet and what I'm eating and what supplements I'm taking, and gave me an extra supplement to take to help manage stress. And the most interesting thing, the whole thing was interesting, but the most interesting part for me was the in-body analysis. It's a machine that analyzes your body composition. And so that for me was really interesting, because I've always been built like a brick shit house, as they say. And so this was interesting for me. The muscle fat analysis. So I still, with my clothes on, 129 kilos, which is about, so shows good that the scales at home are right. My skeletal muscle mass, 45 kilos. So, or 45.2, which is, I think, James said is really good. So we want to try and maintain that. I have a lot of muscle mass underneath the fat, and the body fat mass, 50 kilos of fat on me. So that's good in one sense. I mean, it's not good that I've got 50 kilos of fat, but it's all concentrated around my trunk mostly, which is relatively normal. But what it does mean is that I've less to lose than I had thought. So this machine analyzes your
your ratios of your composition of your body. So my BMI is way over what is the normal range. I'm 38, nearly 39% fat at the moment, and it basically, if I can lose 36 kilos of that body fat mass, then I can, at 93, that would put me around 93 kilos, and that would put me into the right range of everything. So I was thinking I was going to have to get down to like low 80s to have everything line up correctly. But if I keep on this trajectory and try to make sure I'm losing fat, not muscle mass, then 93 kilos is a good target. So that just means 36 kilos to go. So that was pretty exciting. I was thinking I was, 40 to 50 kilos to get rid of. But the key in this whole equation though is making sure that I maintain my muscle mass as I'm losing the weight. So I will go back in 5 or 6 weeks and do this analysis again, and we'll be checking to make sure that 45 kilos of muscle doesn't start dropping as the fat level starts dropping. So, and the key to doing that is making sure I have plenty of protein, I'm not starving myself, those kind of things. We might see a little bit of change in the muscle mass because as I start to run more, my legs will lean out, and I might use up some muscle, might change my muscle composition on my legs a little bit, but hopefully we stick pretty close. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. So down the last part of it is the body composition history, and obviously I've only been once, so I will give you an update on this in 5 or 6 weeks when we go and do it again. I will also have done my blood work and looked at any other supplements that I might need to add into the equation as part of that. But yeah, really worthwhile process talking to James at Hellohealth about, all of the different factors that he lists them out, your all the different the pillars he calls them of your health. And so it's probably something I should have done from a much younger age, but for me this is when I started doing it. So yeah, interesting and exciting to get all these numbers into the right zones moving forward. So but James is on board with the whole process, he thought, as everyone else does, that I might be a little crazy choosing a whole Ironman, a full Ironman, but thinks that I'm in a reasonable position to be able to actually complete that. So that was good to know as well. At least he didn't think I was truly losing my mind. So we'll keep you in the loop on these things as we update. There'll be a link to the Hellohealth site in the information about this video. Just look them up, hellohealth.com.au I think it is. If you want to go through this process and learn how your body's functioning, what you need to fix, well worthwhile process to go through. And then we'll keep you up to date. Okay, just a little bit of a wrap up for the week. It's been a topsy-turvy week, as you probably guessed from the videos, feeling good, bad and indifferent during the week. But finished on a strong note this morning with my ride with a new PB, so that was good. And got a bit of an announcement next week about something else we're going to be doing as part of this process, so looking forward to that. And thanks for everyone's support, and we'll see you next week.